going to start from the very top, and I'm just going to go through them real fast, so write them down when I get to them. Got it? Yeah. Toto. Just remember to bring on Toto. That's all I had. But now I know what happened, so awesome. Dorothy. Mason, where are you?
Right here.
When you pull the cellar door, you have to do it off stage. If your hand is on stage at all, it looks very fake, if that makes sense. And they do such a good job of making tornado appear for us that you have to pull the cellar door from off stage, if that makes sense. Or like you don't have to physically go off stage, but make sure your arm is off. Anna, for the Wicked Witch, come on quicker. I mean, there was just your music started and then you waited a good 3 seconds to come on. So just make sure that you're there during the cyclone.
Okay, yeah. Oh, my broom got stuck.
Oh, I was like, this is weird. She's never done that before. Hold on one second, Mason. Mason Townsend, your periactoid was really far forward, so just make sure that it's a little further back because it was not. Where's Theo? He's somewhere. Anyway, it just wasn't quite on the same plane as that one. Does that make sense? So when you push it out just a little bit further back, just a twinge. Kalia, was there a problem with the legs or did we just forget? Okay, so you gotta remember that that's there, okay? Or else I gotta send somebody else. Good? You can do it? Alrighty. Lollipop Guild. Raise your hands. Do I need to reassign the Lollipop Guild?
What does that mean?
That means that I gotta have someone else sing it with you.
No.
Because the only ones singing today were Jesse and Tristan.
Yeah.
And doing their, I couldn't hear you. And you weren't doing your choreography. So just remember, you'll be cute and your parents will love you and eat it up. But try to do what Miss Robin gave you and make sure you're singing out. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty. Glinda, where are you? You have to step back and around Dorothy, or else the slippers don't have a reveal of any kind. And I know your skirt is massive and it's a little hard, but that moment has to be like, Dorothy's here, you have to step back, there they are, and there they'll stay, or else there's no climactic, oh wow. Even though we all know it's coming, we still want the moment. Dorothy, in Scarecrow's scene, whenever he falls, be a little bit more concerned for his health. Right now, it's just kind of like it. I think you can eventually get to the point of like, oh, he fell again. Oh well. But the first couple times, and even in the movie, if you watch her, she's like, oh wow, okay, you fell. So you should have a surprised, concerned reaction. At least the first couple times in the song that he falls. Naomi, the end, you were up here. Your chin has to be down, or else nobody's going to see your face for the applause. And then don't trail off. There's one line where you're like, you went acceptable. So your choice was really funny on the line, but don't trail it off, if that makes sense. So like, accept a lighted match, because you have to have diction, and or else we're not going to know what the funny part of the line was, if that makes sense. So don't trail off if you can. Make sure for that final Wizard of Oz, Mason had the choreography correct, so if y'all are not sure, go to her for it. Because she did we hear it is a whiz of a whiz, if ever a whiz, that we changed it to yesterday. And make sure Toto's included in that. So Toto, you're in that dance. So don't let him exclude you. Yep, that whole thing. Yeah, we told you that yesterday. That's okay, go to Mason for the choreography. She'll be able to help you with that, okay? Beautiful. Oh, Naomi and Mason, for the Tin Man scene, can y'all start, when you really start your lines, can you start in pretty much on that flap, if that makes sense? Naomi, you were kind of out here. Can you make sure that you're near Mason for that part, just so we can get the light right for that? Oh, and then when we're coming down the aisle, right before the lions and tigers and bear scenes, don't start your lines until you hit the stairs at the very minimum. Does that make sense? Just so you can be lit in the scene when you do your lines. That's for, that happens a couple times with the 5 of you, with, I guess the 4 of you. Toto hasn't had a problem with that, but y'all like to, I think maybe originally I told you that, but for now, let's just across the board change it to, don't say lines until we hit the stairs when we have entrances up and down. That make sense? Awesome, awesome. Oh, and during the lion scene, we were doing this weird thing where we all started drifting we started drifting this way. And it was like all throughout the scene, and then y'all ended up like pretty much all stage right. So I don't know what happened, but try not to drift as much. in that scene. It might have been the moment when Toto and Lion were chasing each other, and then for some reason you two stepped closer. I don't know, but somehow it was like a boat that was like slowly going this way. So try and stay center in that scene if you can, because that'll just help with lighting. For jitterbugs, for the end when it's like, look out for that bug. The optimistic voices, y'all did great not popping out, but if you're gonna pop out, you have to go out, if that makes sense. Like it can't be like here, like that's not popping out. Yeah, look out for that bug, and going back. So yeah, the pop out is on bug. And if we need to cut it, we can, but you'll still sing in the wings. No questions right now. I'll answer them in just a minute, okay, bud? Brett, for your line, Dorothy, who's Dorothy? Come downstage so we know who said that. Just cut through if you have to, and then stand facing out. Dorothy, who's Dorothy? That way we know who said it, and the action is thrown to you. If I were king of the forest, can you do those louder? They're not reading right now, and they're absolutely hilarious. So just a little bit louder. I think that'll be fine. And then Logan, don't wave your axe at other actors. Yeah, I was watching it in the monkey scene, and that scared me just a little bit. So.
Well, no. Theo was just like, hey, you're holding an axe, but you're using your hand to
well,
away.
It's okay if you threaten them with it, but don't like literally swing at them.
There's a difference between making it look like you're gonna use an axe and swinging the axe.
Dang it.
So, let's not bring the axe down on anybody, alrighty? Even though it's like hollow and weighs like 0.2 pounds, it can still hurt someone. So let's threaten but not swing. Okay. Anna, I'm so sorry. I do need the spool down the stage for the hourglass. So if we could find someone, the more, as we were watching the scene, it was just kind of like, the hourglass should have some kind of prominence to it, so, because it's important. So we need to move that a little further down stage if that's not too hard. If not, we can assign someone to help you with it. I think there's some people backstage, but just let us know.
If I'm holding my brain, it's kind of hard because I have to hold the spool and
Well, because the thing opens during the scene transition, it's just a couple things you have to move. So if you just lean your broom against the door while you move things, then pick it back up.
Yeah.
Because it's in the middle of the transition.
Perfect. It just didn't look quite right having it by the door. Thought it would be fine. Changed. Wow. Dorothy, in the Rainbow Reprise, the initial turn to the crystal ball, definitely go there, even though your back will be to some of the audience, but then feel free to come back out so that you can have A&M and your eyesight so y'all can be together and that you can emote more. Does that make sense? But definitely do turn towards it for the initial, and then at the end when you have the like, why, oh, why can't, boom. Definitely go back to the crystal at that point, if that makes sense. Witch, you can take even more time with your death. It was still a little rushed, and it can like, you can make sure we feel like how painful it is for the water to like hit you, because it's literally melting your skin off. That's painful. So take your time, like makes it, because that's your big moment. That's the moment everybody that knows the Wicked Witch waits the whole show to watch her get melted by water. So enjoy that moment and take time with it and allow us to like really feel how in pain you are. Dorothy, for the, and this is for Toto as well, in the second chamber scene, make sure Toto's by your side, and Toto, make sure you're by Dorothy's side. Both times we're in the wizard's chamber. And then today, the wizard chamber scene dragged. It took a long time to get through. So let's pick up the pace in that scene, and if we can cut the dead space between lines, I think it was just, it felt like we didn't know that scene as well as we knew some of the others, and so it would be like a line. Does that make sense? Like the second wizard chamber scene, the one where he's revealed and y'all are getting all the awards and stuff, it just kind of like, there would be a line, and then there was like a grand pause, and then a line, and then a grand pause. So let's just review those lines over the weekend and just pick up the pace, dead space a little bit between them. It'll be great. Mason, for the balloon, don't indicate anywhere. Just say, oh, and here it is now, and then you'll be able to, the curtains will open, and Oz is already set for you, and you'll be able to go right to it.
What do you mean by balloon?
You said balloon today. You said, and here it is now. So indicate, just don't point to where it is, because don't worry, it'll be there. and you'll be able to just, oh, there it is. Toto, be a little bit harder for Dorothy to catch. Struggle a little bit, make Dorothy take some time over there, because today she was like, I can, but I can't get on that balloon. So maybe for a minute you're like going after the cat, and you're like, I want to go, let me go, and you'll have a struggle. Does that make sense? So that she has, the balloon has the time to begin getting off stage so that Dorothy literally can't get back on. Does that make sense? So yeah, just want that cat a little harder, you know what I mean? Glinda, don't begin your lines when you re-enter until you've arrived. Does that make sense? Today you said them as you came on, and Glinda she travels by bubble. And so you have to wait for the bubble to arrive. And then once it does, then you can land. Then you can step out and begin your line. Does that make sense? For both times you enter. Dorothy, take a moment when you say, it's going to be so hard to say goodbye. Let that sink in for a second. And maybe a deep breath, and then, okay, goodbye. Does that make sense? Because that'll just add some weight to the moment. And it really will show us that Dorothy really doesn't want to say goodbye to each of them. And then you can take a moment in between each one. Because each one's going to hit you emotionally and hit you hard. Does that make sense? So you can okay, another one down. Goodbye, this person. And you know what I'm saying? Kind of, just to give each one its own personal weight and its own oh, this is so hard for me. It's heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching, all the things. And then I had one, wait. Oh, just remember to let Toto go through the door first. And you can even, when you pick up the basket, pick it up and bring it a step down from the stairs to reveal the shoes to the audience. Does that make sense? And then allow Toto to go in, then you go in, put the basket down, close the door. Does that make sense? I think that'll work to help that moment not feel so crowded up there. I think that was part of the problem, is it just feels So I think you stepping down and allowing Toto, for the ending scene, make sure Dorothy, you go before Dorothy, okay? And then she's gonna wait down stage for a second, and you go ahead up the steps and open the door. Yeah. But other than that, y'all have a great little show on your hands. It's looking awesome. I'm really excited. Y'all sound great. You look great. I'm ecstatic to add lights and costumes and just all the fun things. Make sure that whenever you see Mr. Bill or Winton, Jaden, I think, who else is working on it? Janelle, Naomi, Miss Jane. I'm thinking of all the people that have been doing set stuff. If I'm missing anybody. Mason, Kalia, Walker, Miss Rachel. I'm thinking through all the people. Taylor, Logan. I saw him today. But make sure that you thank all those people for your nice, beautiful set. They've been working hard on it almost every morning before you guys get to camp. Mason's been here doing props. So just go thank all of them before you leave today, guys, okay? Or at least sometime throughout the run. Give them a nice big thank you. Also, give Mr. Theo a round of applause for conducting you all backstage. He's doing a great job. Your scene transitions look awesome. Anyway, y'all have a great little show, and I'm really excited about it. So, I'm going to throw the mic to Theo. And Theo's going to do a few more set transitions if he needs them, or whatever he needs to do in the last little few minutes. So, here we go.
Hang on. Wait, Robin. What if Theo doesn't catch it?
What?
What if Theo doesn't catch the mic?
What?
Blow up the yeah, exactly.
He said you're gonna throw me the mic, and he said what if he doesn't catch it.
Oh, I could not understand what he said. I was like,
Robin, you guys help on Saturday.
what?
You guys help on Saturday.
Can I have Tin Man, Scarecrow, Lion, Rocky, and Nick, please?
Okay, so the only transition I think we really need to go over and work is the one going from Oz to Kansas. So it really wasn't bad even without the instructions. The only thing that happened was the mid stage got closed early, so half of the platforms and stuff got caught outside of it. Jaden, I'm gonna need you to help out with that. You should, because you're not in that final Oz scene anymore, you should already be like your Uncle Henry, and you can help just pull the center one back, and that's the only thing you need to worry about. You got it? And then you can just go right to your place.